to the very first Chussy and Disco70 podcast. Stuart Flockhart is my right-hand man. Stu, how's it going?
Yeah, much better now, thank you. We've got some long-awaited sunshine appearing in Scotland.
Oh, you're saying that? Yeah, I'm down in the in Wales, and it's exactly the same. Looking out to lovely blue skies, a bit chilly, but it's dry.
At last, yeah, this is probably about the worst, wettest winter I can remember. I mean, I've got a track here. We've just not even opened it for the last 4 months, so I'm very happy to see the sun coming out.
Because myself and you have had a fairly busy month or so, to say the least. We disappeared to California with all your training school.
Yep, that was good.
Which was good fun. A little bit chillier this year over there, Stu, rather than super hot weather, wouldn't it? It was just right, really.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we had a good group of boys and good fun as always travelling over there, and they're always excited to get there. But I mean, for them, well, we've now been a few years, haven't we? So we've had some good temperatures over there, but like you said, it certainly wasn't one of the hottest ones. In fact, we even picked up a bit of man flu.
Yeah, I think that was more off the plane, to be honest.
Yeah. Good trip.
Yeah, it was a good trip. It was good fun. What was your favourite moment of the trip, Stu?
Let me think. Well, you know what? It's always good fun because obviously I'd imagine a lot of people have seen what the tracks look like out in California.
Yeah, we did.
So to me, I get a lot of satisfaction when I see some of my boys maybe clearing jumps out in California bigger than what they do back home. So yeah, there was a couple of times where, you see them doing a fist pump and like high-fiving each other because they've cleared like a big triple or something. So that's always one of my favourite points.
I like the fact when we all meet up in Heathrow, because you fly down from Edinburgh to Heathrow and then we all go together. It's that buzz we get when we're at Heathrow and we get on the plane, we know we're going, and we get to California and it's sort of like, what is it, 3:30 in the afternoon, something like that?
Yeah.
And we sort of like, we spend an hour and a bit trying to get our bags and doing the customs and stuff, and then we go outside and it's just like, you're here at last.
You can feel it and smell it. Yeah.
That feeling is just incredible. It's such a buzz.
The flight out is easier than the flight home, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially for you this time, obviously with your man flu.
Oh, that was not good. And then you heard about the drama. I got stuck in Heathrow, didn't I? Yeah. Anyway.
All good. But yeah, as I said, every year we've been, going for 6 years, 7 years now, whatever it is, with Ride California. It's been such a good laugh, and those guys, the training place and the house and the bikes and everything else over there is just second to none, really. Sam does an absolutely amazing job.
Yep, especially when you have such a bad winter like this. It's brilliant just to go out there. Well, it's more than just the riding, isn't it? I mean, like you say, the house is great, but you're surrounded by pretty much the main core of the industry of the top American riders. The boys were excited to go to a practice track, and all of a sudden, parked just a couple of vans down from us, you'll get some big name riders that they're, we're not hounding them to get autographs, but the boys are pretty excited to meet them and get a selfie.
Yeah, definitely. Well, at the end of the day, those sort of the riders in the States and the riders in the World Championship, which we're going to talk about in a minute, are superstars, aren't they? And what we do,
yep.
We're a fairly small sport in comparison to some, but and to be honest with you, the guys, they have a chat and talk, and they're more than happy to give the younger guys their autographs and stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, and like you said, we've been out a few years, so some of them even recognise us now, don't they?
Yeah, which is always quite fun. But we've got the first round of the World Championship, as we said. We're going to keep this podcast sort of short and sweet, really, cause just to see how it goes and see what you want to listen to and keeping it real. We don't want to give you too much BS, as they say. But yeah, the first round of the GPs this weekend in Qatar, which is in the Middle East. Stu, riding around in the dark.
Yeah, I've watched that one.
Yeah, it's not the I don't know, but I really don't know. I still haven't made my mind up with it racing at night. I know it's say hot over there, but I don't know. I don't think it's what we do, to be honest, in my opinion.
Well, I remember there being excitement last year because we obviously had Ryan Villapoto coming over.
Yeah.
I think the excitement this year is, we really don't know who's going to be the number one factor.
No.
Well, first off, in my mind, I'm thinking of the MX1 class.
Yeah.
I guess us Brits are rooting for old SS24's had a great
Oh, yes.
start to the season. So
Yeah.
there's a different excitement. Last year it was big news that Ryan Villapoto was coming over. And this year we're just going on the names that we know, the main European contenders.
Yeah.
And at last, I think we've got a Brit there who should be listed in the top 5.
Yeah, I think Sean, he's had a fantastic pre-season events, that's for sure.
Yep.
Won it Hawkstone. Did he win it? Yeah, he won it Valence as well.
Yep.
And then third the weekend. Was it third the weekend?
Yeah, I saw. Was it Instagram or tweeted? He made a few mistakes. I mean, there was a couple of guys that beat him there that you would expect Sean could have handled those guys, but anyway, he still ended up on the podium.
Yeah, he did crash a few times, so
yeah,
get those out of the way before the weekend.
That's what he said.
But my money for this weekend, I'm going to go for Bobashev.
Hey.
I got a funny feeling about him this year. If he stays fit, and he seems to be fit going into the season, I think he could do something because he had some good round. He won the Italian Championship, didn't he? Yeah. So yeah, I got a funny feeling he's the man.
Well, while we were out in California, we were lucky enough to, well, not that we were following them, but we saw Gautier Paulin and Evgeny Bobryshev. I mean, we were speaking to Tommy Searle.
Yeah.
Clement Desal was out there. And like you say, Bobby was looking very good. In fact, particularly the day we spent at Glen Helen, I would have said, I mean, I wasn't clocking lap times, but from watching them and from, the level of racing that I've been at, I could tell that Bobby looked in a very, very good condition, good speed. He looked, to me that day at Glen Helen, he looked the quickest there. So, yeah, the Honda, I mean, Gautier Paulin's looking great. You remember when we watched them at Paris, tripling around that corner, which nobody else did.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Honda guys are in good place. I can't wait.
Should be good. As I said, I'm not the biggest fan of racing at night under floodlights and stuff, but let's just hope everyone has a good weekend and they're safe and sound, and then crack on to Thailand, because Thailand's normally quite a decent track, to say the least.
Yeah, that was a good one. I remember that from last year as well. Quite jumpy, quite entertaining. Is that the one where it was hot and Villapoto took the win?
Yeah.
And then we've got our teammate from our California trip, Phil Goffin, will be there watching and cheering on for Sean Simpson.
Yeah, Phil giving it, sending us tweets and pictures, I would imagine.
Good. He's our correspondent live from the track.
Yeah, he's been doing that already, actually, making us very jealous of his life in Thailand.
Looks good.
Yeah, but as I said, we got Sean, we got Tommy in MX1, in MX2, obviously Max.
Yep. It seems from his internet social media recently that he's quite happy with very happy with the Husqvarna bike at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say. Obviously, he's got that pesky Dutch kid, Jeffrey Hurlins, to contend with, who looks super fast, come back. Really confident and just getting on with his thing, and I think Jeffrey's going to be difficult to beat, to say the least.
Well, yeah, I mean he's decided to stay back down in MX2 again, which was a bit of a, he kept us in suspense for a little while there. People saying he's almost sandbagging because he's so quick, and we know that he's capable of getting his third MX2 title.
But it was the right decision though, because he hasn't raced and he needs to build his strength and everything else up to I think if he went straight into MX1 or MXGP now, I think it would have been a whole different ball game. But he needs to get his confidence back, for one thing, that's for sure.
You know what? I agree on him staying down, because if you think about it this way, if let's just say the the FIM ruling of MX2 riders staying until 23 years old, let's just say that was to stick for the next 10 years, then Hurlings, if he went up to the MX1 class too soon, then he couldn't come back down. Let him have his time in the MX2. We know he's super duper fast.
Yeah.
You'd still put him as favourite to win, but while he's within the age limit, let him ride MX2.
Yeah.
I remember when I was coming into this, well, not coming into the sport, but switching from youth to pro level, we had Alessio Chico Chiodi.
Yeah.
He got 3, well, back in the day it was the 125
Yeah,
class, but
yeah,
he got 3 consecutive world titles.
yeah.
So I don't know if maybe Hurlings is trying to aim for that target of the third MX2 title. But
Why
yeah,
not?
that's my opinion. He's allowed to stay MX2, so go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Why not? Definitely. And at the end of the day, KCM have got a strong contingent in a strong rider in Crowley. Well, I don't know. Is he injured still? There's been sort of not too much Crowley
Well,
stuff flying around.
yeah, there's been a few preseason injuries. Didn't Fevra pick up a small injury? Caroli's had a small injury, and that opens the door for someone like Bobashev or Simpson.
I think MXGP this year, MX1 class or whatever, it's it's difficult to call. I don't think there's
Yep.
one out and out winner. Obviously, February's coming in as world champion or whatever. Um, he's going to be, he's going to be wanting to keep hold of his title. I don't know. As I said, I think the first one. Let's get the first one out of the way. Difficult to tell it in Qatar because obviously it's riding around at night.
Yep.
There's shadows in the ruts and everything else, unless they completely blast it with light this year. But they have said that every year, and it's the same every year, to be honest.
Well, I've heard you saying it before, right? You can't win the championship at the first round. You can certainly lose it.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be playing the cards a little bit, maybe close to the chest, where they're not revealing it all on the first round. Like you said, you've got different conditions, nighttime under lighting. So I think most of them priority will be just to score solid points. They're not necessarily worried if they win that first race. There'll be a few people like maybe Bobby, for example, who I'd imagine would go out for the win.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of them who are just going to sit there and reserve their place for the long haul.
Just get some decent points. I think that's the name of the game. I think if you drop into that top, what do you reckon, 7?
Yeah, I mean, I remember going back to my best season in British and World Championship 2003. At the first round, I didn't do very much, just pulled top 10. And then after that, I started working my way into the podium.
Yeah.
And eventually, you're looking at sitting in the top 3 in the championship. So, yeah, I think you must be top 10 in the first round.
Yeah,
But
I think
even
so.
then, we've seen riders missing Grand Prix and still winning a title. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say you wouldn't want to be out the top 10 anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this weekend, tune into livemotocross.com for all the latest bits and bobs and whatever's happening in the world of MXGP racing. Obviously with the Supercross as well. No, is there a gap this week for the Supercross?
You know what? I'm not sure. I was absolutely loving watching the highlights or the Supercross mains of the 250 and 450 class. It was a great weekend in Arlington, Texas. I don't know the schedule, what's on this weekend, but for sure I'm going to tune into
No,
the Grand Prix.
it's Atlanta first, East Coast.
Cool.
So that's early as well. That's an earlier kickoff, so to speak. So it could clash with MXGP. So we could have double the amount of stuff going on. But yeah, all good. As I said, we make this podcast shorter than what we're going to do. It's just to kick it off into make sure it works and everything else. And as I said, tune into livemotocross.com for all the latest stuff the weekend. And Stu, I'll let you go because what are you doing? Any training this week with your guys?
Well, I'm taking Troy out tomorrow. Like I said, finally we're getting sunshine, and after school I'll pick the wee man up and take him out training. I'll probably take a group of riders out on Saturday. On Sunday we're opening our practice track, which is everyone's looking forward to riding this new 100-foot tabletop we've built. So
Nice.
looking forward to a good weekend of riding
And where's
again.
that? Where's that track?
Well, our track that we run is Cooper Angus.
Yep.
I've been sharing videos.
Yep.
My partner Louis, so he was the first one to hit a table, and it's like everyone was messaging me, when can we get on the track? So unfortunately, with the race not opened since we graded the track 2 weeks ago, but the track's ready to go on Sunday. Can't wait.
Okay, and where do they find information about because obviously you're a coach now and a trainer, where do they find information if anyone's interested to join one of your training schools?
Yep, well, I run everything under my flockhartmx.com, FLOCKHART-MX.com. That includes my training packages. Yeah, we've got information on next year's California trip, boot camps in Easter, and also if you look for Cooper Angus Motocross, that's our practice facility in the central Scotland.
Awesome. Excellent, mate. We shall be, we'll tune in again on Monday, Tuesday next week for the second podcast. And until then, I'll speak to you later, Stu.
See you guys. Good luck, Sean.
Cheers, mate. Bye.